going on, everybody? Welcome to the Filsinger Games Character Spotlight with Mike and Brock.
Mike,
I'm Brock, and tonight we wrap up Sudden Death 2103 with Blazing Skull and Terminus, a new alien from Ara or Era.
yeah, I'm
He's the
not sure.
RN Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. But we'll start with Blazing Skull, our upgraded character here.
Yeah, he started off. Uh, for me, he was part of Team Brimstone. Uh, he, he's had an interesting career. I had him teaming up with Mangus because, like again, and Jeff would get upset at me. Uh, I used the blue cards, so and they did pretty good as a tag team. Um, they captured my CPC tag titles twice.
Okay. He was
And
officially teaming with Bishop Hell at this time.
yeah,
The Lords of Fire.
he's had an interesting little run. Like he came into feud Akuma, lost two more to Homicide. He finally beat Doomsayer, lost to Lance Atlas. He beat Baron Vasteferens. He beat Killer Queen, beat Stalker. So he's when this card hit, he started to pick up.
It's only a slight upgrade in the Raw ratings from the Birthday Bash card, which was a 37-37. This is a 38-39. So
Oh,
just a very slight upgrade.
yeah. He captured my War Games title because I did War Games twice.
Hmm.
Uh, the CPC tag title twice and my Iron Man title once. And on his card, on the back here, where I keep track of people injured and injuries,
Uh-huh.
he's injured people 19 times. So he's not overly violent. He's been injured 10, suspended 4 times, fined 5 points. But I keep track of something for him that I don't with anybody else. I have a head exploded section for him, and it's only gone off one time.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to happen. I don't, it never happened for me, but I didn't use this card a whole lot. Surprise, surprise. But it's not easy to do.
No.
I don't know if in his later cards if it became more frequent.
And he injured somebody, and I don't even know who he injured, but for a total of 7 cards. And I rolled 2d6.
Okay.
So his head has exploded once. It didn't kill anybody. But since Jeff isn't here, let me take a sip of water before I do the dramatic reading.
The dramatic reading of the handbook entry.
Yeah, Blazing Skull from Brimstone Beetlejuice, which I went and saw that movie yesterday. If you don't have to see it in the theater, don't. It's so disappointing. I was I was very
I'm gonna
frustrated at
I'm gonna
how.
admit something here. I wasn't a fan of the original Beetlejuice movie.
Oh, first one was phenomenal. Great movie. And I'm also wearing a Star Wars shirt because today's the day James Earl Jones passed away. So for
Yeah,
any of
that was a sad one. I mean, he had a good run though. He made it to 93,
yeah,
did a lot. So yeah, but it's sad to see him go. He's pretty iconic. It's one I kind of expected to happen for a while.
oh yeah. So in the vanguard of the team that became the revolting Brimstone Burning was Blazing Skull, a competitor with a fiery temper and a cranium to match. Since arriving on a provisional basis in 2101, Skull has become one of the most controversial wrestlers in the GWS long history, which is saying something. Many blame him for the death of the Centurion Crossfire in 2103. Though no official charges have ever resulted from it, while serving as a field general for the Brimstonians, Skull won the heavy metal special matches title and came close to claiming the interplanetary title as well. He and Anarchy kicked Melf out of the team in 2112 and named Tortured Soul their bodyguard. Crossfire's mother, Laura Lee, has continued her personal vendetta against Skull in particular and the Brimstonian general. In 2114, the Brimstonians went down to defeat at the hands of Laura Lee and the Rocket Men's revenge in sudden death. It was a shocking turnaround. The Blazing Skull apologized to Laura Lee for the accidental death of her soul and joined forces with the Rocket Men to battle Anarchy and the Brimstone Burning.
Wow.
I did not see that coming.
No, full circle. That was his entire history there.
I am
He get
shocked.
he gets two new cards, I think, before all that goes down. But yeah, this is his official GWF debut card. I mean that he had a card before for Birthday Bash, but this is, I guess, his official GWF card debut.
Huh.
The Larry Snelly art in that Birthday Bash set is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And this is the one thing that uh his finisher is the same thing as Wolf's. It's a
Yeah,
claw hold.
but his hand's on fire.
And it was only a +2, not a +3.
He has claws too. At least he had claws in his Birthday Bash card.
So I did make them feud, not feud, but have a series of matches over who had the better claw hold.
Hmm. Clearly, it's Blazing Skull.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Sorry, I'm just trying to refocus
Yeah.
myself.
And then maybe I might do a Cronus and have them face off against Baron von Raschke, and they can have a
There you go. The Von Erichs don't have cards yet.
I'll throw in. Oh yeah,
Oh, the
no,
young Von
they do.
Erichs do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they have the claw hold too.
And then the Baron Vast he's got the claw hold.
Yep, claws all around.
So this Blazing Skull, he's not too bad.
No.
I've enjoyed using him. He's fun. Now it's going to be interesting because now that I know he turns good, but I don't think I can't say I'm not going to turn him good because you you do like that. Uh,
Hmm.
you know, guys coming full circle realize that hey, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
My head did blow up. I didn't mean for it to happen. Apology. I can see that happening.
Hmm. It's still a ways down the road too.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if he gets worse before he becomes good or if he his next drawing is a little maniacal looking.
Do we have
Um,
those online? Any of them are colored?
yeah, I could show you. Let me get my screen up here. And here's what his next card's going to look like.
Yeah.
A little more sinister looking with the big teeth here.
I don't know about that color one with the Snelly one. I never pictured him as white.
Yeah, it's interesting. And he only has four fingers.
Does he have five in the rest? This is just something.
He does in this one. The only other one you
Yeah.
see his hands.
He somehow grew an extra digit.
It's not the same guy. This isn't the guy who killed Crossfire.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna have to. One of the things we'll have to have Tom about. Tom, you went from four fingers to five.
Hmm.
I don't know if anybody noticed that, but or are we just breaking the news now?
It's probably mentioned in the handbook. I
This
was
is
happy to see a character like this turn up. I like the more like sci-fi, supernatural spin on characters and stuff like that.
oh
'Cause I
yeah.
don't think we do enough of that with it
Yeah.
being
The galaxy's a big place. One second.
exactly. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things that you should encounter throughout the galaxy. Oh, sorry, excuse me, I'm sneezing. At least I got the mute button in time. Saved all the listeners a little jolt there.
Had to turn the heat down. I got the fireplace going in the basement.
Ugh,
It's cold down here. I turn it up and get it nice and toasty warm.
nice.
But yeah, for the Blazing Skull, I find him to be an interesting heel.
Yeah, I like him. Brings a new like edge of like, this guy's bad. He can hurt you. He may or may not be doing it on purpose. He has a pretty lengthy career. He gets a new card fairly quick though, I think. Yeah, his next one's in 2107, so I guess it's 4 years down the road. And he has that one till 2115.
Yeah, I think he got sent down. He got relegated to the UWA. So that's where he is currently right now.
Okay.
Because the Brimstonians lost their feud horrifically. So a couple guys got sent down, a couple stayed, but it destroyed their group dynamic.
Okay. I mean, he has a solid card. Not very many weaknesses on it. Um, yeah, if I were to power creep him, I think I would bump the pin or the burning touch to a +3 just so it matches Wolf. Why not?
Yeah, actually, I might make it a +4 to make it better than Wolves.
There you go.
Um, because he's got now. I'm just going from memory here, but he's got an A ring and an A rope.
He has an A in ring, a B, and everything else.
Okay, I think he used to have an A rope. I can be wrong, but I'm gonna bump him up to an A rope because he's fast.
Yeah, he's -3 agility.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think I'll do that with him.
Yeah, but he gets a couple more upgrades throughout his career, so it does get better.
Be exciting to see what happens to him.
Yeah, well, now that we know his whole story.
And he turns good.
Reluctantly, the apology was accepted.
Well, if she didn't accept it, she would have looked bad.
Can't wait to see who this Malif guy is.
Now, I did notice today that Brandon Williams uh,
Okay,
is also in 2105. Good going, Brandon. So he's just as back as far as I am.
there you go. You guys should get together for a super card. Hopefully, he has all the cards he needs to continue on.
Because on our on the YouTube show, if you can click that like button, just click it. We'll have 50 to 100 people watching and only like 12 likes. If you the more likes it have, the more times it gets into algorithms.
Yeah. Well, if they don't like it, I guess we can't do anything about that.
And then we do both try to answer the questions that people sometimes will leave.
Yeah, I try. I'm bad at that kind of thing. I've always been trying to be better.
Oh, but let's switch over to Terminus.
Here he is. Classic dishwashing gloves
Yep.
on a big pimply alien.
Now, when I first saw him, I thought he was part of the group for trying to remember the name of them. They feuded. They were part of in the blue set. They looked like they were aquatic guys.
Oh, Torpor and Vortex.
Yeah,
Is that what their names were? What were they
the
called?
Historians,
Cross Currents.
cross currents.
Are we thinking of the same guys?
Yep,
Yeah, the Cross Currents. Did I give the right names?
yep. Thetis and Vortex.
Okay,
So if you look at them, they look kind of similar.
they do. The scaly stuff.
Yeah.
Cross Currents. But yeah, again, I was excited to see an alien, a new alien race that wasn't human. I liked him a lot. I remember like just using him in a bootleg fed just because I liked his look.
He's a guy, he's got two choices on level three
Uh-huh.
for his card. And I'm like, he's going to do horrible. He's done surprisingly well for me.
Okay.
Like, he's a two-time GWF TV champion. And to become a champion in your first year is shocking
Mm-hmm.
because you gotta get a bunch of wins and work your way up your points. I don't give title shots. You gotta beat people to earn titles.
Right.
So he's done quite well. Be a two-time champ.
I mean, he has a negative agility and power, -1, -2. He's got A in all the charts except for ropes. He has a B. So he's protected on all those things. He has a 4-1 pin. So yeah, he's got some solid stats. Just his offense is kind of lackluster.
Because he's captured the TV title enough times. Now he's the number one contender to the Intergalaxian title,
There you go.
which is Colossus.
That'd be a fun matchup.
So it's going to be interesting. And Colossus did beat him. I'm just looking
Hmm.
up in a four-star match.
Wow.
It was a barn burner.
Yeah, he comes in as part of the CPC,
So I'll do uh, Jeff's job,
the dramatic reading of the
the
handbook
dramatic
entry.
reading. Terminus from Ara. Terminus entered the GWF from the AFW, which I thought was kind of cool that Tom is, saying there's other wrestling promotions out there.
Hmm.
I think this is the first time he's done that, which is the Aaron Federation of Wrestling. As part of the then minor Colby Pelf Corporation team in 2103, bringing him with the AFW Championship belt, of which he was many times a holder. He challenged everyone and everyone. Now that he was in the big leagues, when the CPC established themselves firmly as their own league in 2105, Terminus was crowned their first interstellar champion, a distinction that he held for 3 years.
Wow.
His feud with Wolf catapulted him into the spotlight in 2106. His valet Velar at his side, moving CPC into the Centra and GWFC in 2010, challenging the man he called the Big Idiot, Paragon, who abandoned the CPC just before.
That idiot Paragon.
No. Terminus is a man always on the threshold of breaking into greatness, although he never showed he could be more than that big fish in a little pond. He switched allegiances to Magnus then his Alien Connection team after the GWF returned to Dimension K. Then again, his singles ability couldn't prove the difference in their feud with the Federation Defense Fighters. And the Connection were losers in the sudden death war at 2114. Terminus and the Alien Connection departed the GWF as a team in 2115.
All right.
Interesting.
He
So he
rolls.
doesn't get it. I don't think he gets an upgrade card then.
He does in 2111.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He gets a slight bump. His raw rating with this card is a 3940, and that one's a 4243. So just a slight bump.
Yeah, I like him.
Hmm.
Out of the recently, the new sets, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like him. I like his look. I like that he has that other title belt.
Yeah.
Um, his dishwashing gloves.
He's like to me that belt was like the $1 million dream belt.
Uh-huh.
He didn't put it on the line, but he always wore it.
He even has it in his updated card.
So when he comes to the ring, when he was the TV champ, he would have two belts over his shoulders.
I never getting ahead, but because this is coming later, but he has that CPC Interstellar belt in this drawing.
Then a Jeremy Sue art. Yeah, oh yeah, it's Jeremy Sue.
He's got three belts here.
Yeah, he just collected them all.
He is. But that's his second card. This is the card we're talking about. Interesting coloring on that.
Yeah, I never would have pictured him as Pebble.
Yeah, it's interesting. But I guess they never really describe what he's made of.
No,
Kind of like the thing, but with odd minerals instead.
and glowy eyes.
Yeah. Bendis didn't give him eyes in the the original black and white art. Just the eye sockets.
Yeah, yeah. Ben is not giving somebody eye sockets. That's kind of part of the course there.
But he loved the dishwashing gloves.
He did. How would you power creep this fella?
You gotta clean up that level three offense.
Yeah.
It's so bad. There's only one guaranteed move to take you to level three, and then the finisher, of course. But the rest you're rolling on the choice chart, or that's a straight two. Out of the ring without a choice, that could hurt him. He has an A rating, but
Yeah, for a guy who's supposed to be a top guy, he's got one of the worst down threes.
oh, it's bad. It's
Ugh.
so bad. Yeah, the two choices. I mean, you're gonna almost do the death jump every time, I would think.
Yeah. And the other one's a choice D or something like that.
Yeah, choice D on a shoulder breaker too. And then he has a forearm spear number 1, 2. So he's got one straight through two, 1, 2, or three, and then 1, 3 or death jump, and then a no choice out of the ring, a straight through level three, and a +2 finisher. So it's not even really balanced out with a bigger finisher either.
I'd
So
get rid of the D, move the death jump to in the first slot, and just give him a regular down three move.
yeah, you have to. He's that. I mean, because I mean, the rest of his card, like he's protected on agility and power. He's got a low pin rating. His charts are fine, but that level three offense just is such a glaring weakness. He has more chances to put you down on two than he does on three, other than the finisher. So
Yeah, he's like I said, he's a guy that's doing better for me than he probably should.
yeah, he's hard to beat, but he just doesn't have much to put opponents away with,
Yeah.
which can be fun. Like just finding a way to win, I guess. by outlasting the opponent, which he can probably do more often than not. Terminus. I like the name too.
Yeah, I think Terminus was the original name for Atlanta.
Oh yeah, Terminus.
Oh, you're just looking up to see what it means?
Yeah, it's the final point in space or time. So yeah, he's the last man. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Atlanta was Terminus was uh, Atlanta's nickname
Okay, so it was the
because
final space and
because
place in
all the
space and
all the
time.
rail lines met there at one point.
That's a cool nickname for a city. Makes sense too.
Yep.
I like it.
And we can use that segue
Yeah, we
into
can.
things because our Mount Rushmore was going to be your favorite baseball nicknames. And so I said I was going to use them, and Brock's like, no, 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 I'm using these ones. Well, I had to think up some new ones, which
You
is no
didn't.
problem.
You really didn't have to.
So,
There's some that are just really good. So you kind
oh,
of.
oh, there are. Especially if you watched baseball in the mid '80s with Chris Berman.
Hmm. He had one for everybody.
Yeah. So, what do you got? What are your top four and your honorable mention?
All right, I'm going to go with the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas.
Yeah,
I was a huge Frank Thomas fan as a kid.
yeah. Even though I was a Jays fan, I loved Frank.
Yeah, he just seemed like he just seemed like he was having fun too.
In that year,
Uh,
he did play for Toronto.
yes, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. I have the crime dog, Fred McGriff, just because why not? Found out his first cousin lives 2 doors down from me, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, just casually came up in conversation. See if we can make a connection there sometime. I'm gonna go with the big unit, Randy Johnson, because the innuendo and insinuation there is funny. So- and then I'm gonna go for my fourth one was a local one, Don Slot. They called him Sluggo. It's like I like the name Sluggo. And my honorable mention, I'm gonna go Babe Ruth, the big Bambino.
Yeah, he had a few nicknames.
He did, he did.
My mine are going to be uh, the Rocket Man, Roger Clemens.
That's a good one. That almost made my list.
I was a big fan of Roger Clemens. We're getting a lot of ex-Toronto Blue Jays on this on our nickname list here. We got three of them.
Yeah, so far.
Then I'm going to hit up with some Chris. Oh no, some Chris Berman stuff. So another first because first basemen seem to get a lot of the nicknames. So Mark Amazing Grace. I just like that one.
Chicago Cubs, one of the most consistent hitters of all time.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go with a pitcher named Bert Blyleven, and his nickname was Bert Be Home Blyleven.
That's good. I don't know why I'm so out of focus.
Oh, yeah, oh, oh, no, no.
I look ridiculous. Let me try this. There we go. I'm
There
back.
you go. Yeah, and then another. first baseman, Rafael Palmeiro.
Okay.
His nickname was Rafael Emerson Lake and Palmerio. Good old Chris. So they're my four. And my honorable mention, gonna go with one of my favorite all-time players, Bip Roberts.
Yeah.
Bip is his nickname. His real name is Leon.
I would go by BIP too.
Yeah. So he goes by Bip.
That's a fun list. It was a
That was
better topic.
you could have thrown in Craig Graybeck. He was the Little Hurt.
Yeah. Then you
Because
had the Bash Brothers.
that Chicago White Sox team, everybody had a nickname. Like Ron Karkovice was Officer Karko because he had a great arm for catching guys stealing.
Nice.
Uh, Darren Jackson was in the outfield. He was the Jackson Dive.
We can't forget the Wizard of Oz,
Yeah.
Ozzie Smith. That was a good one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other cool nicknames that they had. But like I say, you just watch any baseball game with Chris Berman, and there was going to be a nickname.
Yeah, yeah, he had fun with it. He did that with football too.
Oh yeah, Terry Mulholland Drive. You would just if your name appeared in something, that was your new nickname with Chris Berman.
Uh-huh. A lot of them stuck though.
Oh yeah. I don't know who came up with the Big Hurt, but that was a great nickname for him since
He
he
was
was
huge.
so devastating back then.
Uh-huh.
Crime Dog, that was another Chris Berman one because of McGruff the Crime Dog.
Yeah,
So
McGruff.
McGriff.
Good stuff.
But if you want to run down our sponsors,
We're not sponsored. We're not affiliated with anyone. All right, everybody, while you're here, head on down to the description and check out all of our friends who make Filsinger Games related content, including the official Filsinger Games podcast roll up, the Legends team's Uncharted Territory, Dizzy Dice from Lee Lamprey, Solo Promoter from Grant Pachoco. You'll find Grant here on YouTube as well. He's doing stuff all the time. Great content from Grant. Dave Little's Heartland Championship Wrestling is here on YouTube. After further review, Brad plays 81, Bucky 749. Brad's been doing a lot lately. He's been doing a lot of live streams. Check that out. I'm back on Twitch. My schedule, I'm not even going to try and say what it is because I can't seem to stick to it. So I try. I'm usually on Sundays. I've been doing pretty good on Sundays. Had a hailstorm knock me out this past Friday. Took my internet out. So
yeah,
I,
I saw the pictures of the hail. It was like golf ball size almost.
it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I've never seen anything like it. It was coming down sideways. So needless to say, I was without internet for almost 3 days. But yeah, trying to get back on schedule. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and leave your comments below of your favorite MLB nicknames. And we'll see you
Okay.
next time.
Good night, everyone.
Later.